You know, the silliest lie that you'll hear from hustle bros and self help gurus is that you have your 5 to 9 outside your 9 to 5 to grind on your passion project until it pays the bills. But that time is needed for recovery. Like, free time means nothing when your mind is shot from a soul sucking work environment. And if your job sucks and it's draining you, the free time really isn't yours. It's a recovery window. Like when people are spending 7, 8 hours a day wearing this mask, just faking who they are around coworkers that they hate, that is so draining that every hour spent outside of that, you need to spend like sedating and recovering. Like people don't want to go home and immediately start reading and writing and working on YouTube channels or whatever when they just spent a soul crushing 8 hours wearing this fake mask. Like when I was working in sales or in IT, that shit was so soul crushing. Like I couldn't focus on anything outside of work. I was just laying in bed and doom scrolling because that was my mode of recovery. Like I needed to numb myself from how soul crushing I found that work to be. It wasn't until I finally got out of that stuff that I was finally able to focus on things that make me feel more alive. When I finally figured out a way to escape this fucking, it's so cliche to say, but escape the 9 to 5. Like, yeah, I escaped the 9 to 5. I don't make a shitload of money, but I'm working a job that I love, doing something I'm fairly passionate about, and I'm living literally on a tropical island, which I can tell y'all more about that later. But basically, I'm a free dive instructor in Honduras, right? It's not scuba diving, but it's free diving, which is, similar. And I make enough in order to pay for my rent and pay for my food down here. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, actually, is how the self help world and all of that information just isn't applicable to everybody. And I think that the people giving that information it's just survivorship bias. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, I'll put up the picture of like the plane, but basically they're the ones who survived and they're giving advice, but that ignores all the other people who have taken that advice who have failed, right? So that advice worked for them, but it's probably not going to work for everybody else. So I think a more grounded, practical approach to the information that people consume so that it can help them is what's really needed in the world today. And I think that there's a lot that can be said that people aren't really talking about in terms of self help that isn't the self help that everybody sees. Like, for example, doing basic fucking breath work, like simple breath work exercises daily changes your life. It makes you able to see things for yourself and makes you realize what type of actions you need to take. And it can help you enter a flow state where before you didn't have any. And it can help you lock into your focus where before you didn't have any. And from there, you can build a life that is better for you, where you can find a cool job, where you can make cool money, where you can meet cool people. And that they never talk about any of the resources for finding a cool job that's like not your own business. You can live a pretty cool life and work a pretty kick-ass job that isn't your own business. Like I found jobs hosting parties. I was getting paid to host parties for backpackers. Okay, I did that for over a year. Right now I'm getting paid to teach free diving to people in the Caribbean Ocean, in the Caribbean Sea. In the Caribbean. Like I'm getting paid to teach people this stuff. Was I making great money here or at hosting parties? No. But I had a place to stay, which they paid for. I was getting food they paid for, and I was getting paid a little on top of that. And the social atmosphere that I'm in, just the nature that I'm in every day, like it's worth so much more than whatever money I could make from a normal corporate job. And it's definitely worth more than the stress that I would get from like trying to start my own business in the States. And when I'm in this relaxed state of being like hosting parties, having super fun every day, like in a good headspace, in a good spiritual place. Same thing out here. I'm in a good headspace. I'm in a good spiritual place. I can see clearly enough so that any decisions that I make from here, I know they're not going to be the wrong ones. And I've developed enough trust in myself where I can kind of just lock in and be like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, fuck it, we ball. We're going to figure out how to roll through this. So I was talking about in my last video about how you guys can get started on some of this with websites like Worldpackers, Workaway, HelpX, and Woofing. Those are great places to get started. I'm probably going to talk about this a lot actually going into the summer because I really cringe at the thought of y'all sitting in bed rotting away for another entire summer. Don't do what I did, bros. Don't just sit there on 4chan or Face Punch. Maybe that's showing my age right there. That's not too old, right? I'm like a zillennial, I'd say. I'm 31. I just turned 31. I would say that that's right on the cusp. So I call myself a zillennial. Drop a comment. Let me know what I am. Let me know what you think I am. And yeah, guys, this is what I'm talking about. There's resources out there, like the websites I just mentioned, and like in the past video where I talked about reaching out for creative and interesting jobs, and the confidence and the balls that you need just to pull the trigger on them. Now, to develop the balls to do all that stuff, the one thing that I know for sure, besides just fucking doing it, like, okay, how do you get the balls to just do it? How do you get over all that mental chatter and just do it? The answer for me, breath work. Okay, breath work. And I guess I should make another video going into detail, like specifically what I mean. But I don't want to just give away exactly what I'm talking about because people will find it. It's similar to Wim Hof, but it's not Wim Hof. I've never been a fan of Wim Hof. It produces similar effects, though, in a more calm, safe way. And it actually is more about like introspection instead of surviving the cold, I guess. So similar to that. And the one that I will tell you about is simple. Breathe in for 4 counts, breathe out for 8 counts. Do it with me now. It's not cringe to do breath work, okay? Do it with me. We're going to do it twice, okay?
In for 4. And out for 8. In for 4, deep breath. And out for 8.
And there we go. Congratulations. You just did breath work. We both just activated our parasympathetic nervous system, which is what it's all about. Nowadays, everybody is never in a relaxed state, basically, because we're on our phones when we're supposed to be resting. We're on our phones when we're supposed to be sleeping. We're on our phones constantly. And when your body needs that moment of rest, when your body like needs a time to lay down and just rest in the middle of the day or later in the day, it doesn't realize that you're resting when you're looking at your phone and watching like a bunch of wars and a bunch of memes and a bunch of AI. Is this fake? Is this real? Your brain doesn't know how to switch off and into a relaxing mode when all of that is happening. Okay. So that breathing exercise I did, instead of scrolling, do that twice. Instead of vaping, do that twice. I'm saying that to myself because I don't want to smoke a cigarette right now. I actually have an ear infection right now, and I really want to smoke a cigarette, but that's not good for the ear infection. So I'm like, okay, instead of a cigarette, we're going to do breath work. So yeah, guys, that is some basic information. I don't even know what I'm getting on to about this video at this point, but my name is Charlie, Easy Breathing. Let me know if you want some help with breath work or any of these resources, or any of these resources that I mentioned. I've worked with them before, guys. I met tons of people traveling that have worked through these websites. These are legit. It is not too good to be true. I don't know why you guys think some of this stuff doesn't work. It's very easy. These websites have jobs where you don't get paid a lot of money, but you get paid in rent and food. And like, is that not the majority of what you spend your money on? Hello. Go do this stuff, especially if you're young, man. There's no better decision you can make. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you need help. Peace.